YouTube, hello, and welcome on in. I am, of course, ELH, your illustrious game master, mind flayer, and black hole enthusiast, and today we are checking out the Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown demo. It is purported as being a very Choice Matters sort of visual novel-esque, Fallout Shelter-esque game, and the demo came out literally yesterday. I'm recording this on October 14th. So we will find out together what is in store with the demo. And as I've told Twitch chat, I'm of the mind that I'm purposely going to be choosing options that I think would change the narrative the most. Where I know from a little bit of a spoiler activity that the overall demo covers the Caretaker mission, the very first episode of Voyager. And my goal is either get Voyager to get home, or to mess up the story so hard that the game is like, I don't know what to do with this. Because as a game developer myself, someone who does stories like this for a living, and someone who loves Star Trek, of course, but it's going to be my goal to really stress test the overall freedom that the game offers you as a player. Because I will fully admit, when they showed Tuvix in the trailer of this game, and then like, yeah, you can save Tuvix. You know, I thought there, and I was like, wait a second. If you save Tuvix, i.e. you don't separate him back out into Neelix and Tuvok, that has extremely far-reaching circumstances. And, you know, as Techno just made the joke, I would have handled the Borg differently. Like, I'm curious to see, can we make an alliance with Species 8472? Can we spurn the Borg? And there's a lot of potential. Like I said, there's a lot of potential here, but it remains to be seen how much that potential is allowed. But let's switch over and we will get started. Alright, well, I can already tell I need to lower the volume a little bit. Give me one moment. Alright, chat, do let me know if the volume is a little bit overbearing. I've turned it down about halfway now, but do let me know if it is a little bit too loud and I can adjust. But we're going to start with save slot 1, and let's see what happens. You are the captain of the Federation starship USS Voyager. Manage your ship and crew. I didn't even get to read it. Okay. Stardate 48351. Okay, you were just going. Okay, they're not even letting me read it. Oh, man, they are just going. Alright, so it is the very start of the Voyager episode where they are going into the Badlands to check in on Tuvok, check in on the Maquis and that whole stuff. And yeah, I think you're right, Techno. No DS9. We didn't get a cameo of DS9. Slows down once it's out of the cutscenes? Ah, okay. Alright, so we just got Ensign Harry Kim and Tom Paris. First thing we're going to be doing is promoting Kim. Just going to say that now. We are promoting Kim. I don't even care. The first opportunity. Oh, here we go. I finally get to speak. Gentlemen, welcome to Voyager. Ensign Kim, you're fresh from the Academy. Ready for your first deep space assignment? Reporting for duty, Captain. It's an honor to be here. I hope I live up to your expectations. Okay, yep, that's Kim. Ensign Kim, I trust you've already met Tom Paris, our esteemed observer, a former Maquis pilot who will help us search the Badlands for the Maquis vessel. With all due respect, ma'am, observer is hardly a title befitting of my talents. I'm the best damn pilot in this sector. Call me pilot extraordinaire, Ensign. Okay, a little bit thick, but, you know, very Tom Paris. The Maquis? Wow, I've heard a lot of stories about them. Kim, come on. Relax. I was only with Maquis for only a few weeks before I was captured and sent to a lovely little penal colony in New Zealand. Okay. Okay, Kim. I haven't watched the Caretaker episode in a while, but Kim, come on, Kim. Enough chatter, gentlemen. All hands, this is the captain. Report to your stations. Helm, take us into the Badlands. Maximum warp. they did the Badlands right. That's what the Badlands are supposed to look like. Into the Badlands. The Badlands, a treacherous region of space where violent plasma storms can cripple even the most advanced starships. Captain Janeway observes the swirling chaos from the view screen, a subtle smile playing on her lips. She's ready for the challenge. Okay. Scanners are picking up no other vessels in the system, Captain. It's your time to shine, Mr. Paris. Any idea where your former colleagues might be hiding? It wasn't exactly my key of the year, Captain, but they did prefer underground bases, remote planets, and... Captain, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm reading a coherent Tetrion beam scanning us, and a displacement wave heading towards us. Okay. Incoming. Okay, so that's how they're going to do it, is they're going to cut away every time there's a major change or a major event. They're going to cut away to this. Okay. Colossal wave of turbulent energy surges towards Voyager, its power dwarfing anything the crew has ever seen. With no time to analyze the threat, emergency measures are initiated. Oh, look at that. The bridge is already a red alert, and... Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Red alert, helm, evasive maneuvers. No effect. The wave will intercept us in 5 seconds. Brace for impact. Okay. Alright, so that was a little bit of a weird cut, but I understood why they did it. As the crew regains consciousness, they find the bridge in total devastation. Twisted metal, sparking consoles, injured crewmates paint a grim picture. What just happened? So, again, it's been a hot minute since I watched the first episode of Voyager, but weren't the Maquis aboard before the displacement wave hit? Like, shouldn't the Maquis already be aboard? Maybe I'm misremembering where they are in the event. Oh, wow, yeah, they really damaged that bridge. Nope, they meet at the array? Okay, so, alright, so far it's following canon. Damage report. Major, oh my god, Kim. Kim, I think it's okay to... Kim, I think you can use another console. I admire his gumption. That just look at this. There's a beam. There's his console's all screwed up. That's... Oh, you poor summer child, Kim. You poor summer child. Oh. Major hull and deck damage. The transporters are offline and we're receiving casualty reports. Bridge to sickbay. Doctor, I've got injured crew on the bridge. Doctor? Damn. He likes those buttons. This is my console. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Yeah, I can see Kim doing that. Kim, we're losing systems across multiple decks. The deuterium tanks are empty. Warp core has gone into gray mode. We're on reserves, barely. Ooh, we lost deuterium. Mr. Paris, take the helm. Scan for the nearest source of deuterium. External sensors are offline. Stellar cartography is down. Voyager's blind, Captain. Okay. Oh, here we go. The Fallout shelter kind of thing. Alright, I was looking forward to this. Janeway Engineering, we need stellar cartography back online now. Welcome to the tutorial. Okay, so if I get something, there's a little icon over here. Okay. So first things first, I imagine we click stellar cartography and then hit E. Ah, okay. Let's see. Captain, sensors are picking up something out there, but, what Harry is trying to stammer is we're not in the Badlands anymore. Ah, yes, we're no longer in Kansas. And there's the caretaker array. What is that thing? Where are we? If our sensors are working, we just jumped over 70,000 light years into the Delta Quadrant. The Delta Quadrant? How? Captain, life support systems are failing. Well, Kim, you should have mentioned that earlier. This array will have to wait. Mr. Paris, take the helm. Find us a deuterium source. Okay, so here is Here's points of interest. Okay, interesting. Oh, so we're cycling. Okay. So we have a number of cycles. Shipwreck, caretaker array. I guess we'll go to this planet. Now we can get deuterium. Okay. Navigate your ship while traveling time passes in the form of cycles. Okay. Pro tip, hold left to click to travel, hold right click to scan. Okay, good to know. Let's see. Alright, so this is going to be the major sort of mission thing. When visiting points of interest, you can choose between different approaches with different risks and outcome. The different color bars in the chance bar represent possible outcome. Green is good, light green is eh. Okay, yellow is minor setback, orange and red are bad outcomes. Okay. Alright, we got duranium out there. Duranium. There's deuterium over there. Deuterium. I will say that one thing I would appreciate, and there's probably a mechanic here, you know, having to scan each little item in general. I know why they're doing it from a game design perspective, but I also would like... I guess I would also like to say, like, let me just right-click once on the system. But from a game design perspective, there's two reasons why they're doing it that way. One is because it is much easier to code and allow the player to feel like they're actually scanning something. And it basically involves a little bit of... oh god, what's the game design term for it? Basically, by letting the player do little menial tasks like that, they feel more engaged and more willing, you know, in order to, you know, feel more in-depth or involved in the game. Oh, random. Hello, welcome on in. Yeah, and that's the second point I have, is that the other reason I can see why they are making you scan everything manually and why it is a little bit tedious is because I am willing to bet that one or more systems in the future is going to have, like, say, you know, over here around, we'll say these 4 planets, these 4 landmarks, like, maybe there's a plasma storm, or maybe there's a nebula, and we can't scan them until we fly into the nebula, kind of a thing. So, I get why they're doing it. I just hope that, as Techno and Bean and some others have said, as Random said, I do hope that there's maybe an upgrade to make scanning like, you know, scan this side of the map or scan this side of the map. But again, we'll just keep going. Let's get that deuterium. We detected a small debris field scattered across a wide area. The debris appears to be the remnants of a vessel. Maybe we can find something useful there. Well, I think we're going to try and do tractor beam, because that just seems like, why would you not? Now, I know it says yellow, but I think we're going to go for it. Oof. Unfortunately, there were less useful parts than we hoped for scattered in the debris. Okay, so it is a very random bar. Interesting. So that means we actually have to fly to another deuterium source. Sensors detect a dense cloud of interstellar gas with an unusually high concentration of deuterium. Oh, that's an orange. No, we don't want an orange. We're gonna deploy probes, I think. Yeah, Techno, I'm wondering if there's stuff you can upgrade, because that last choice we picked when we were at the other planet, you know, it said we needed a tractor beam. So I'm wondering if there's different technology or different things you can do to make this chance bar better. I'm willing to bet there is. Captain, we can now deactivate gray mode. Okay. Ready to increase warp core output. Okay. Oh boy, here we go. Continually assumes to... okay, so the fuel source. Uh-huh. But more deuterium is required. Increase power output by selecting main engineering and switching the warp core to a higher tier. Okay. And we want tier 1. Our energy levels are returning to normal, Captain. Good. Now what about this thing, this array? I can't tell, Captain, but our scanners detected a Maquis next to it. Hail him. Hail him. No response, Captain. Well, thank you for letting me try to hail. Guess we're scanning for life signs. Scan the ship for life signs, Ensign. There's no one aboard. Yup. Alright. Okay, so here's what we're seeing in literally what I said earlier. And yeah, you guys are talking about it in chat. There does appear to be upgrades, because right here we have a level 1 sensor array that's giving us a plus 35% chance of success. I am very much guessing that there's a upgrade tree of people and of the ship. What about the array? Hey, we succeeded. Several life forms aboard, Captain. Is one of them Vulcan, aka Tuvok? I'm not sure, Captain. The signals are weak. We'll just have to see for ourselves. I want the transporter room repaired and ready. Mr. Paris, get us just to... oh, Duranium. We need to repair the transporter room. And we got Duranium right here. Yep, Duranium. Nightbot shouldn't be doing anything Lacrazi. Nightbot is, should just be saying a few things automated here and there. I love me some pointless decisions in a video game. Again, it's about player buy-in is what it is. Alright, how much do we need? 14? I think we're going to play it safe. We're just going to collect any accessible resources. We now have all the duranium we need. Engineering is standing by to repair the transporter, Captain. Okay. And we can't upgrade it yet. Okay, we have an upgrade tree. This, I assume, takes cycles. Let's just zoom out here. Ooh, we got a full deck view of the ship. What else we got? We got a workshop. We got life support. Probably should repair that. Ruined room. Main deflector. Very important. What else we got? We got sick bay. We got holodeck. Life support is offline. That's wonderful. Oh, I see. It's life support per deck. Oh. Well, we have no life support in the mess hall right now. Oh, Lord. So everything is messed up right now. That's what we're seeing. Oh, I had to click it. I see. Okay, transporters are back online, Captain. Mr. Paris, set course for the array. It's time we got some answers. Okay, well, I'm just gonna fly over here. Get a nice cinematic view of Voyager flying to the array. Ensign Kim and Mr. Paris, get ready for your first away mission. Away missions present a series of challenges. Okay. Heroes possess skills and traits. Select the heroes with the matching skills for your away team. Okay. Well, I think we only literally can pick Harry, Kim, and Paris, so away we go. Hello, Tigdam. Welcome on in. Decide on an approach. Okay, and select the hero to complete the challenge with the appropriate skill. If the skill is lower than the requirement, the success chance is displayed, which is that stress bar. Alright. Captain, we've seemed to materialize in the middle of a cornfield. This place, it's eerily similar to Earth, but something's off. Any suggestions what to do next? Let's scan for any life signs or strained energy signatures. And confirm. I have to hold. Okay. Oh, we failed. The tricorder offers no helpful readings. Harry and Tom wander aimlessly for the corn, feeling increasingly lost and disoriented. Just before they are about to give up hope, they stumble upon a farm with people working the fields. An old man sits on the porch of a nearby farmhouse strumming a banjo. So, okay, and this is a game design thing. So, sometimes when you are, how do I say this? When you are wanting there to be a deliberate choice of failure or a chance of failure, you basically have to write 3 outcomes. And this is one such outcome where, yes, the player failed. Even though it was a very easy task to use a tricorder, Kim still failed at using a tricorder at the end of the day. So you have to write a path where Kim fails the tricorder scan. Now, obviously, if he succeeded the tricorder scan, that's another route.
Another journey
begins.
begins.
Lacrosse, thank you for the 5. Welcome on in. Thank you for the 5. And if you got a sub, remember to pay it forward and do something nice for somebody else. But, okay, so we have Kim fails the tricorder path, Kim succeeds at the tricorder path, and then we have a third path where something strange happens, like you get a critical success or a critical failure. And, you know, okay, so that's already 3 paths on this one selection. So you have to then take those 3 paths and you have to merge them back into the main story, where you have to make the choice either matter, or you write off the choice, or you write off the outcome as being, okay, you failed but it didn't really matter. Or, hey, you succeeded but you still end up getting the same thing as a failure. And this is where I'm curious how far and thorough the game is going to be, because you can see very quickly how choices like this and outcomes like this, especially with random number generators, can become very branchy very quickly, where one failure could snowball an entire mission, but then you have to write branches for every single failure in the mission. And, you know, let's look at the challenges here, for example. We have 4 challenges here, and that is already 2 outcomes. We'll just say pass and fail for each challenges. That's already 8 different branches. Now, I think I know already how the caretaker's going to end, you know, based on the whole premise of the game. But that's already 8 branches you have to account for. And that's just one mission. And that's not even accounting for the fact that you can send different away team members on missions. So I'm cautiously optimistic at this point. I'm very cautiously optimistic, because if they make things matter and make failure matter, then I'll be more happy than I am with, shall we say, certain visual novels which give an illusion of involvement, give an illusion of choice. So we'll just keep an eye on it, and we'll see what happens. Yes, thank you all for the hype train. Thank you so much. Alright, after a challenge, the participating team members are fatigued and their skill values are reduced. Let them rest for the next challenge and recover. Okay, so you do have to be careful about who is recovering. Okay. Captain, this old man seems harmless enough. He might knows what's going on here. How should we approach him? Let me see. Demand to know what's going on. Uh-huh. Try to read his body language for any clues. Uh-huh. Phasers. Yes, phasers. Well, Kim is fatigued, so we're gonna let Mr. Paris read some body language here. Man, we failed that one too. Harry and Tom observe the old man, but his body language is surprisingly neutral. He seems like a generally kind and harmless old farmer. The old man seems perplexed by their presence, muttering about how some things are not supposed to happen this way. He invites them to stay on the farm and wait, offering them from fresh corn cobs. Okay. You can select more than one hero if they possess the required skill. Okay. And of course, if it's accumulated, you have a chance. Okay, so here's the third outcome I was alluding to earlier, where critical success matters. So again, let's revisit the chance bar here. That particularly means that there's not just 8 choices, there's 12 choices. And that is something tremendous. But we're going to select both of these because we want a critical success and we want deuterium. There's a large barn behind the farmhouse. The tricorder rings are off the charts. There's definitely something strange about it, especially that back wall. Well, we're going to break the illusion of that wall. It's like talking to a rock pretending to be human. You're not wrong. All right, so hopefully we'll critical success here. Hopefully. Nope, we got a normal success. Harry and Tom try to disrupt the energy field, causing the flicker in the air. But before they can break the illusion, the people from the field burst in, wielding farm tools as a weapon, or as weapons. The old man appears and reveals the barn is an illusion, the back wall dissolving to show a bluish glowing room where unconscious people, including a tattooed man and a half-Klingon woman, lie on surgical tables. Ah yes, Chakotay and B'Elanna. Sometimes you have to make major decisions that have a large influence on how the story proceeds. These decisions are marked with a golden outline. Okay. Oh no, Captain, they have farm tools. Shoot your space lasers at them. These people must be the missing Maquis. They're being held here, Captain. We must get them out of here. So we have a choice. We can either wake Chakotay, or we can wake B'Elanna. And if we wake Chakotay, we get duranium, and if we wake B'Elanna, we get deuterium. Well, I think we're gonna need more duranium. So let's wake up Mr. Chakotay. Oh, good, we get the telltale your choice has consequences. Great. All right. Tom rushes towards the tattooed man, hoping to shake him awake. As he reaches out, the old man stops him, a look of concern on his face. Before Tom can react, a blinding white light fills the room. Everything goes blank. Okay, oh boy, we've got experiences bars. All right. A sudden return. Captain Janeway anxiously awaits the return of her away team when Tom Paris unexpectedly materializes behind her. What happened on the array? Captain, Tom, that's Kim's. Tom, that's Kim's station. Get out of Kim's station. Get out. You're gonna ruin his settings. What happened over there, Mr. Paris? We lost contact with you for several hours. What? But we were there for only an hour, right, Harry? Harry, he was just behind me. Then he's still in the array. But why were you released and not? The Maquis are hailing us, Captain, putting them on screen. I'm Commander Chakotay of the Maquis. My chief engineer, B'Elanna Torres, is missing. Is she there with you? Nope, she's still in the caretaker array. No, Commander, one of our own is also missing. It seems we share a problem, and it would make sense if we solved it together. 3 of us will beam over to your ship. Okay. Despite Janeway's invitation, the arrival of Chakotay and his Maquis crew on the bridge is fraught with tension. Both sides remain wary as they prepare to discuss their shared predicament. And that's the thing. I don't remember if Chakotay was a commander at that point. I don't know if he had a rank. I'd have to go back and watch the episode. Captain, this is... Oh, great, Seska. Can we throw out Seska? And look, Tuvok's already in a Starfleet uniform. Oh, I know who he is. I'm glad to have you back, Tuvok. As am I, Captain. Commander Chakotay, I must inform you that I was assigned to infiltrate your crew. Well, okay, Tuvok, I think that's very obvious, the fact that Chakotay is in his, Maquis outfit, and you just literally, in the space of 2 seconds, transferred back into your Starfleet uniform. Why would you throw out Seska? No. Okay, so 2 things we're doing the first chance we get. We're throwing out Seska, and we're promoting Kim, and we're saving Tuvix. We've got 3 very important things we're doing. Were you going to deliver us into their waiting hands, Vulcan? Correct. However, I assure you will perform your duties aboard your ship up to the highest of standards. Good job, Tuvok. Good job. Charming. And I see you have Paris with you, too. Are you forming a Maquis Traders Club, Captain? You win some, you lose some, Commander. Let's focus on bringing Torres and Kim back from the array. We can't get back inside. They've sealed the entrances and are blocking incoming hails. Lieutenant Tuvok, get down to engineering and find a way to bypass whatever's jamming our communications. Report back as soon as you have a solution. Captain, the ship's status remains critical. Repair protocols are imperative. We require resources in the engineering office to mobilize additional workforces. Okay. Prioritize life support, secure core decks, and restore Deck 5 functionality first to gain access to the engineering office. Okay, yep, and we've got life support on every deck. And it consumes energy. Life support restored on Deck 5. Engineering office is now accessible. Okay. And, of course, it's a mess. Of course. Magical girl transformation sequence for Tuvok. Yeah, I'd pay to see it. All right, well, we have some duranium, so we're just going to go ahead and repair it. Repairs in progress. Until completion, it would be logical to scan. Yep, already ahead of you, Tuvok. Let's go over here and get some duranium. Engineering office has been repaired. Okay. Engineering office fully operational again, Captain. We now have additional work team to carry two tasks simultaneously. Okay. Occupies work teams. Again, very Fallout Shelter-esque. Okay. Logically, we should now focus on Deck 2 in the mess hall. Okay. Yep, I agree with you, Tuvok. We have a morale bar. Oh no. Oh no. Alright. Oh, if morale fails to zero or falls to zero, the crew mutinies and the game is over. Oh lord. Alright, well, let's switch on life support. And we also need to repair the mess hall. Emergency rations are currently deployed. After repair, the crew can access replicator rations again. Okay, well, we are going to repair you. And it's going to take 3 cycles. What else we got? Ruined room must be cleared to create room for residential sections. Ship is heavily damaged and many parts are destroyed beyond repair. To free up new building space, you have to remove the remnants. And it takes time. Okay, so let's just ruin this. Waiting for our work teams to finish, we should continue to collect resources. Okay. So we are going to... Captain, we found an abandoned ship. Oh boy, they wanted us to have a torpedo already. Interesting. Well, let's just salvage the ship. Okay, we got 35 duranium. Cool. Let's go over and get some deuterium. Voyager being made of balsa wood does make a certain amount of sense with how quickly it breaks and gets repaired. I mean... Mess hall repairs are completed, Captain. We should switch to replicator rations now and enhance crew well-being. With every cycle your crew consumes rations, you can always use emergency rations, but they lower morale. The crews used to consume premium rations, increase morale, but consume deuterium. Okay, well, let's consume deuterium. Alright, and we go back to overview. We've got 18 cycles. Okay. Oh, okay. How do we... System. Okay. Ruined room removal concluded. Great, maybe we can finally rebuild some of the crew quarters. My back has killed me from sleeping in the corridor. It'll do wonders for morale, I'm sure. Build new rooms, select the empty room if you've got enough work teams and resources. Okay. Let me see. Borg technology? Oh no. Crew. Guess we just want emergency crew. Can we even select anything? Your current technology is insufficient. Okay. Crew is the lifeblood of your ship. Each one requires personnel. Don't forget to require... Okay, so... That'll take 4 to do. Let's see. We got a call. Hold on. Caretaker's hailing us. Captain, the array's jamming signal has been neutralized. We should be able to establish communication. Let's hope they respond. Hail the array. Who's this? Why are you bothering me? Oh, it's you. Why are you back? You don't have what I need. I remember that voice, Captain. The old guy with the banjo. Though he seemed a lot less jellyfishy back on the array. I'm Captain Janeway of the Federation Starship Voyager. We mean you no harm. We just want our people back. Your people? Your people are no longer here. They might have what I need. You'll just have to leave them. Okay. Appeal to his humanity. Well, we have a chance. I'm going to do the optional, of course. I won't rely on the words of a stranger. Scan the array for life signs of Harry and Torres. No sign of them, Captain, and no humanoid life forms indicated at all. Who or what are we talking to right now? I mean, if we want a true Janeway option, we have to intimidate them. But we're gonna just go with option 1 here. We are entrusted with their safety. Their families and friends rely on us to bring them home. They are our responsibility. I understand, but I had no choice. There just isn't enough time. Time for what? I must honor a debt that can never be repaid. Find something that cannot be found. What kind of debt? Kind of debt? Maybe we can help. Weren't you listening? It can't be repaid. All I can do is protect them. No, you're stealing my time. Don't you understand? I don't have time. I don't have enough time. We've been cut off, Captain. Even in the canon divergent game, Chakotay doesn't get to say anything. Damn it. You know, maybe if we do a second playthrough, I'll let Chakotay speak. You managed to get him to open up a bit. Maybe Starfleet diplomacy isn't so bad after all. Thank you, Chakotay. Captain, if I may. What do you got, Tuvok? I observed that the array has been sending energy pulses towards the 5th planet of the neighboring system ever since our arrival. Given the lack of information regarding our crew's location, investigating this planet seems to be the most logical step. I agree, Tuvok. It's the only leads we have. Thoughts, Commander? It seems our paths are intertwined, Captain. Let's use this opportunity to find our people and bring them back. Bean is glad that Chakotay isn't voiced by Techno today. Agreed, Mr. Paris. I want you at the helm for this one. Let's find our people. Set a course for the 5th planet in the neighboring system, maximum warp. Okay, so the sector map shows several star systems. You can either directly travel or you can scan the systems first and select a specific pole to visit. Okay. Well, first things first, we're gonna get some deuterium. Okay. Now we will go to a different sector. Ocampa. Yep, there's the Ocampa. Oh, very nice. That was a very, very smooth loading screen. When are you going to start derailing the demo? Very shortly, because we've only had limited chances to derail it. So we're going to have to see how far we can go. Captain, we've reached our destination. Orders? Yeah, let's go for it. Very cinematic view of the ship. Like it. Standard brown planet. Mm-hmm. I thought Bean was soup. We can feed them to the crew to boost morale. That's the kind of thinking that makes first officer. Oh, and of course, Tom is fanboying over the ship. Mm-hmm. Yep, calm down there, Tom. Don't get too carried away, Mr. Paris. Let's see what we have here. A new lead. Following the caretaker's energy pulses, Voyager discovers a desert planet with a harsh, unforgiving landscape. Are Harry, Kim, and B'Elanna perhaps being held in this place? What's so special about this ugly old space rock? We're just going to go ahead and do the optionals because duh. Anything noteworthy about the energy pulses? They are consistently targeting a single location A barren piece of desert. I recommend the away team investigate the area. There is something else. The interval between each pulse has decreased by 0.47 seconds since we left the array. Captain, we're in orbit of Arizona. I mean, you're not wrong. And yeah, they're getting faster, which means the entity is running out of time. Alright, well, do a scan of the planet. It's all the basic characteristics of an M class, but no ocean, no river, nothing. But there are settlements. Why would anyone want to live there? Strange, but intriguing. Alright, well, let's examine this world firsthand, I suppose. Oh god, he's here. Oh god. Okay. Yep, here we go, everybody. Neelix is here. Captain, a small ship is approaching. They're hailing us. Fire torpedoes. Fire phasers. I don't care. Photons, full spread. Yeah, techno, same brain cell. Same brain cell. Although, if we have to have Neelix, that does mean we get Tuvix. Okay, we will allow Neelix to exist because we might have a chance of getting Tuvix. A peculiar alien with a mischievous grin greets Voyager from his chaotic vessel. Neither Starfleet nor the Maquis has ever seen such a species before. Perhaps an inhabitant of the Delta Quadrant. Greetings! Looking for something on this dusty old rock? Would we find anything, Mr. Neelix? Never seen a ship like yours. Let me guess. You're whisked away from somewhere else in the galaxy and brought here against your will. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Lord Exile, to answer your question real quick. Neelix in the Kess seasons. Basically, Neelix up until Kess leaves. Neelix is very much creepy, and not in a... I don't think there's a good way to be creepy. Neelix is very much... I don't think there's an easy way to say it, so I'll just be blunt. He's very predatory in the beginning seasons. And the way he acts towards Cass is very groomy. And it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Now, after Cass leaves and Neelix chills the heck out, Neelix is a more bearable character, and Neelix does have some very good episodes. The problem, though, is the beginning seasons, where he's like that weird, creepy uncle kind of a thing. And it's just... It's one of those things where every Star Trek show usually finds its footing within 1 to 2 seasons, but they definitely were not very charitable towards Neelix. Like, the writers were consistent with him, but yeah. Oh, here we go. Techno maybe has summarized it even better. Let me read Techno's comment. He's very creepy, possessive, predatory, claims knowledge he doesn't have. He's just generally unsufferable. It gets toned down later, but he's still just bleh. Yeah, like, I understand what they were going for with Neelix, and I understand his importance in the story. But at the same time, again, those beginning seasons with Neelix are just... they're not great. They are not great. Also, just as a nitpicky detail, this is the first time we are seeing Neelix, and he already has a Star Trek comm badge, or he has a Starfleet comm badge on. So, I don't know if that's on purpose, or if that's just because they didn't want to make a new portrait for him. I understand the latter, because that's another asset you have to do, but... you know. There's this one episode where they fly out of space he knows, and he gripes with the fact that now he won't be of any use anymore. Yeah, that is a Neelix thing. This is a demo. You have a fair point, Bean. This is a demo, so maybe they'll iron things out like this. Sounds as though you've heard this story before. Thousands of times. Well, hundreds of times. Maybe 50 times. But the caretaker's been bringing ships here for months now. The caretaker? That's what the Ocampa call him. He probably snatched some of your crew, right? They'll likely be down on the planet with the Ocampa. But Captain, it's a tricky place. Dangerous. You could use a guide, but of course a guide needs a little... Yes, Neelix, we know. Oh, here we go. Jet number 4, everybody. Here we go. Let's hear if we hear this one. Yep, we heard that one. I'm pretty sure you heard that one. Jet number 4, everybody. I might have to cut that out of the recording. YouTube, if you heard that, we've been playing the jet counting guide where every time a jet flies over my house, we increase the counter by 1, and that's jet number 4. Yep, and Neelix is already trying to wheel and deal and get profit. Compensation? Sounds fair. Wonderful. To be honest, I've had it rough recently. Those pesky void voles have been nibbling away at my supplies. Some food and water would be most welcome. If you help us find our missing crew, you can have all the food and water you want. It's a deal. Neelix recruited. Do I have to, though? Alright, we're just going to scan everything because we can. Bunch of duranium, bunch of deuterium. Ooh, science. We're going to go do science first. Alright, we now have emergency quarters. Nice. Can we repair sickbay? We can. Alright, we now have 2 work crews working. Alright, we're going to scan from a safe distance and get some science. Okay, we didn't get a lot of science, but we got some. Can never understood how you have a water shortage in space, given that hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe. Oh, I also have 440 homeless? I do? Do I? Hold on. Rebuild Voyager and explore the system or skip cycles until Neelix is ready to talk. Okay, look under morale. Oh, thank you for pointing that out, Techno. Okay, well, we gotta fix that. Let's see. Well. Yep, I already have. All right, so we're gonna have to skip the cycle. We're gonna have to use our time wisely. Let's go get some duranium. Okay, science lab is back, which means now I can put clear debris. We'll deal with your call in a moment. I'm getting planets. Alright, now I will answer your call. Oh, it's from the caretaker. What a delicious meal, a culinary masterpiece. I've never encountered such a tangy but comforting, smooth, yet vibrant concoction. What is it called again? It's called soup, Neelix. It's called soup. Yeah, tomato soup. Tomato soup. I'm something of a culinary wizard myself, you know. My Alfarian hair pasta bowl is widely known for its bold, mouth-watering taste. Mr. Neelix, I'm pleased you're enjoying yourself, but we need your assistance now. Thank you, Tuvok. Ah, yes, your missing crew, right. Scan the southern continent and look for a range of dead volcanoes. At their foot, you'll find a Kazon Olga encampment. Kazon Ogla? One Kazon sect of many. They control this part of the quadrant. They're a bit difficult, but with the right approach, they can even be reasoned with. I thought you said the Okampa had our people. Well, the Okampa do have your people, it's just finding them is a bit tricky. My old pal Mage Chabin, the Olga leader, might know where to look. He's a nice guy, bit gruff, but he owes me a favor. I'm gonna send an away team down. I don't know about the Kazon. No, I know enough about the Kazon, thank you. Very well, prepare an away team, and you'll accompany them, Mr. Neelix. Alright, so we're gonna fly over here. Okay, so we have sick bay. Alright. And then we're gonna ruined room. Gonna fix you as well. And then so we have quarters there. Oh, they actually list you. Okay, so here's a bug I'm noticing already. Jovan Kavar is listed twice. Interesting. So either Jovan Kavar is double, or that's a bug. Yeah. They're binars? Maybe. Yeah, I guess if they're binars, that would work. They are binars. Okay, cool. I stand corrected. I don't know, did Voyager have binars? Because I thought binars went by binary. I know you're joking, but it would be cool if there was a binar. Like if there was a pair of binar. I'd be for it. I mean, that's just cool to me. All right, well, let's go back to the system. Captain, we've reached our destination. Send it away, team. Okay, yeah, Neelix. Well, it looks like we have a bunch of phasers, so we're going to send Tuvok. And then we'll also send Chakotay. Away we go. The away team materializes in a small valley between the dead volcanoes. The sun burns down on them mercilessly. The air is hot and dry as a sandy wind whips into their eyes. Captain, our tricorders are malfunctioning, probably because of the energy impulses. How do we get our bearings in this dust bowl? Chakotay, do your thing. Okay, so we want lower numbers here, which is interesting. Using his survival skills in the position of the sun, Chakotay determines the cardinal directions. He navigates the team through the rocky valley, eventually reaching a rocky ledge, gaining a better view of the surrounding area. In the distance, they spot the Kazon Olga settlement. However, the wind is picking up, and a massive sandstorm is approaching from the south. Captain, a sandstorm is heading our way. We need to find cover fast. Well, we either have a 20 against 35, or we have 18 versus 30. I think 18 versus 30 is the better course of action here. Yeah, let's let Tuvok have a chance here. We succeeded. The away team quickly analyzes the terrain, discovering a natural crevice offering best protection from the storm. The shield of the rock walls shield them from the worst of the wind and the sand. After what seems like an eternity, the storm subsides. The away team emerges unharmed and sets off in the direction of the Kazon Olga settlement. Some mission approaches bear additional risks. Okay. So if there's risk, we can have injury. Chakotay was useful. Yeah, he was actually useful. Alright, well, I think it's obvious we unfortunately are going to let Neelix do the introduction. I think we're just going to let Neelix do Neelix things. Alright, Neelix, do your thing. Neelix bounds forward, greeting the Kazon Olga in his usual boisterous manner. The women and children seem to recognize him, but their expressions are skeptical rather than welcoming. The men approach cautiously, weapons in hand. A tall Kazon emerges from the settlement, Jabin, their leader. At the sight of Neelix, his face darkens. In the background, a badly bruised young woman who looks nothing like the Kazon, but more like a human with pointy ears, peers around a corner. Seems like the Kazon don't find Neelix as charming as he led us to believe. How should we appease them, Captain? Shoot him. Just shoot him. Just shoot him. So if we wanted morale, we could do morale, but we also could just shoot them. I am far from the bones of my ancestors, but Neelix is near. Oh, Lord. Alright, I think we're going to demonstrate strength, and I'm not going to use Chakotay because I see we have a third or a fifth choice here. So we're just going to let Tuvok do his thing. I believe in you, Tuvok. See, I believed. The display of potential force seems to impress Jabin, who explains that the Ocampa live underground, their access controlled by the caretaker who provides their only source of water. As proof, Jabin points to the bruised woman he is holding as a slave, explaining that she is one of the few who have managed to reach the surface when suddenly, Neelix grabs a phaser. He points it at Jabin, who demands for the Ocampa girl to be freed. Things are getting out of hand, Captain. We should retreat. Okay, and now we see risk level here. Interesting. Well, we're gonna secure retreat with tactical phaser fire. Phaser fire, go! Oh boy, we recruited Cass. The away team lays down covering fire, forcing the Kazon to take cover. This allows them to minimize their exposure to enemy fire. Jabin, though furious, seems to acknowledge the away team's fighting skills. They escape with no casualties. Good work, Tuvok. Keep this up, and we may not make you an honorific composite being with Neelix. Can you imagine Janeway having that conversation with Tuvok? Well, Tuvok, I'm reading your performance evaluation for the quarter, and I must say that your results are down, and unfortunately I'm going to have to merge you with our other underperformer, Mr. Neelix. Congratulations, you are now Tuvix. Oh my god, that actually might make for a good, like, alien encounter, where, like, you know, you take the Ferengi, but then you make them more alien, and, you know, we'll just make them like the Ferengi Mark II or something, and it's like, well, you didn't do well on your quarterly review, so congratulations, I'm merging you two together, and hopefully the new Gestalt being will be better. That actually could be a very compelling storyline. Hold on, I need to write this down. Somebody get Jim Johnson on the horn. I think we have a mission brief. Oh, Lord. Safely back on Voyager, Neelix surprises the rest of the away team as he and the rescue woman kiss passionately. How deep does the relationship between the two go? Farther than anyone is comfortable with. My dearest Cass, didn't I promise I'd save you? I knew you would come for me, my love. Oh, Lord. You lied and endangered my crew. This is not how trust is built, Mr. Neelix. He was desperate, Captain, but I understand. I want to repay you and your crew for saving me. As Jabin said, the access to the underground city is controlled by the caretaker. There is a tunnel, but the caretaker sealed it with a security barrier. Guess get off tactical, you're 2 years old. Yeah, I mean, she is. She's like 2 years old in this. We may be able to transport through the barrier if it had the slightest breach. A transporter's signal amplifier would be necessary. Excellent idea. Cass, can you help us once we've located the breach? Of course, it's the least I can do. I'm grateful. Now, I don't care how Kes and Neelix met. Well, we're going to ask Kesk about why she came to the surface. Kes, if it's so dangerous on the surface, why did you leave your home? I felt a strong pull to explore the world beyond the city. I yearned for the freedom to discover new things and learn about myself. Okay, yeah, I can admire that. Seeing my people so dependent on the caretaker, unable to even think for themselves, it was unbearable. We were once a people who had full command of our mind's abilities. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, we have things to do. Alright, somebody get started on that transporter signal amplifier, and Kes, we'll go to sickbay to have you examined. Tuvok, the science lab is back online. We can start researching the signal amplifier. Which we ignored because we immediately jumped to the sickbay. Alright. Computer, initiate emergency medical holographic program. Introducing the Doctor. With no other options available, Captain Janeway activates the Voyager's EMH. Shimmering figure materializes in sickbay, ready to provide critical care. The Doctor, please state the nature of the medical emergency. Yay! Doctor, our chief medical officer is dead. You have to take care of sickbay for now, and this is patient Kes. There's no need for concern. I am capable of treating any injury or disease. A broken Luna, a few minor bruises and grazes. Nothing I can't handle. You are in the most capable hands, young lady. Thank you, Doctor. That's very kind of you. I expect you to do your best, Doctor. Do my best. Captain, I am programmed for optimal medical care. What else would I do? Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a patient to attend to and a sickbay to reorganize. Alright, well, let's get the science laboratory. And we're doing science. Cool. Well, I guess we just sort of go get more duranium, I guess. Let's just get some duranium. then, let's see, how much can we store? We can wait to go to the interstellar cloud, I think. Yeah, it's just uranium and deuterium. Yeah, so Elk, we mentioned it before, but Neelix is very, very weird uncle, creepy uncle to Kess. So those storylines are always very, shall we say, problematic. And yeah, Techno, I figured you could. It's just that right now we only have 2 engineering teams, and they're both working on ruined rooms. So there's not much for them to do. Alright, so now we have a ruined room. And then what can we build here? Cargo bay. Okay. But I think crew quarters is our immediate problem. So let's get some crew. And then we'll worry about that. Maybe we'll build a warehouse here of some kind. Alright, well, let's skip cycle. Do I have to hold it? I have to hold it. Access the tech tree to research upgrades. Certain technologies require something else. Alright, standard tech tree stuff. Tuvok, the blueprints for the signal amplifier are complete. However, to do that, we need to repair the workshop. Okay. Well, get somebody on repairing that in 3 cycles. And then we are going to... I can't do anything because I already have two cycles. I already have 2 teams working. Alright, so... I think... Oh, this is actually pretty cool. So, we want... What do we want? Let's get a plasma torch going, because that'll give us 25% more resources on clear. Okay. How do we get back to the tech tree? Ah, R. Okay, so that's what you're researching. Interesting. Let's go back to the system. See, that's the thing. Like, there is a difference between jealous boyfriend Dusk and creepy uncle. There is a world of difference between the two. Like, there's a marked difference. Let's see. Alright, so that's all fine. Let's make this into a cargo bay. Oh, we need 3 for cargo bay. Well, I guess we're making more crew quarters. Alright, back to the system. Okay, workshop is now here. Start production of the signal amplifier. Uh-huh. Okay, that's going to take 3 cycles. Oh, I did a dumb. I didn't actually get the deuterium. That's on me. Alright, well... let's just get things repairing. And then, what else is broken? Alright, so I need uranium again. If there's anything else. Do we have phaser control that maybe we can do? Nope, we still need 15. Okay, so we need uranium at this point. Signal amplifier has been completed and is ready for use, Captain. It would be wise to make haste back to Ocampa. Okay, well, I'm working on it, Tuvok. Gotta get this uranium first. Or deuterium first. Hello, Kern. Hello. Okay, and then 3 cycles, 3 cycles. I'm gonna go get some duranium. Hold on. Okay. Alright, let me see. Oh, we're just gonna play it safe. Because we'll get 36 out of it, and then we go back to the ship. Let's get phaser repair room going. And let's see, how much do I have? 15. What do I need to repair you? 20. Well, I think we just had enough. Excellent. Alright, well, go to the shipwreck, and then we'll fly back to Ocampa. Alright, and away we go. Okay, we have phasers now. And what else can we do? Maybe a ruined room? Cool. Yeah, like I can already tell that I will lose so much time in just repairing Voyager. So much time. Oh hey, we actually finished our plasma torch. Nice. Let's see. Is there anything else? So it's either battery or hull reinforcement. Or hull reinforcement, I think, is the way to go. Alright, so now we have torpedoes and phasers. We also have a new work team we can task. Let's see. Hold on. What do I got life support wise? Alright, so we can't repair the shuttle bay because we're missing a resource. Tritanium. Okay. Let me see. I'm just looking to see. I think this is where crew quarters are going to have to go. Missing oh, yeah. So I can't repair life support right now because I don't have titanium. Yeah, these are all things I can't do yet. Alright, well, free up that ruined room. Captain, we reached our destination. Orders. Send the away team. And Cass has to go, of course. We're not sending Neelix. We're sending Chakotay. And we need an engineer. I'm gonna send Paris because I don't like Neelix. I'm sorry, I don't like Neelix. Upon materializing near the tunnel entrance, a group of Kazon is already there, tinkering with the security barrier in frustration. As soon as they notice the away team, they flinch in fear and back off a bit. Watch out, shouts one of them. The foreign warriors are back. Yeah, that's right. Get away or I'll shoot you. Captain, the Kazon seem hesitant, almost fearful. What are our orders? Bluff to open fire. Yeah, that gets us to uranium. Yeah. The away team points their phasers at the Kazon, issuing a clear warning, retreat or face the consequences. Then, with a dramatic flare, they start counting to 3. The Kazon, visually intimidated, hastily back away and disappear into the rocky terrain. The away team then enters the tunnel unopposed. Captain, we've reached the tunnel entrance, using the transporter signal amplifier now to find possible breaches in the security barrier. Oh boy. Well, I think we're gonna fail this one. Yep, we failed this one. The transporter signal amplifier proves less effective than hoped. While it detects fluctuations in the barrier, it cannot pinpoint a suitable breach. After several attempts, the away team manages to find a weak spot and transport through, but the process takes longer than expected. Beyond the barrier, the tunnel opens to a breathtaking sight. Embedded into a large cavern, a futuristic environment with smooth white walls emerges in front of the away team, glowing in the warm white light and littered with patches of green. The Ocampa City. Yeah, so this is meaningless failure, where time is a factor in some things, but this is a meaningless failure, is what this is. Captain, we're inside the Ocampa City, but it's a maze of streets and chambers. How should we proceed to find Harry and B'Elanna? Well, we brought Kess along for a reason. Kess approaches a group of Ocampa, respectfully asking for assistance in locating the missing Harry and B'Elanna. The Ocampa, touched by her concern, eagerly provide directions to a medical facility. The away team eventually finds their crew members, awake but disoriented, surrounded by strange medical equipment. B'Elanna, wary of unfamiliar faces, instinctively reaches for a weapon, but before any confrontation can occur, the ground starts to shake violently. How is it so far? It's good. There's some things I would definitely like to see improved, but for a demo, this is pretty good, all things considered. A message from the Captain Janeway cuts through the joy of reunion. The caretaker array has apparently repositioned itself and is now firing at the tunnel entrance. Oh, that's great. We need to get out of here. Chakotay. Chakotay, do the thing. Chakotay did the thing. The away team quickly navigates the collapsing tunnels. They dodge falling debris and leap over widening chasms, escaping the crumbling ceiling just in time. Soon they reach the exit, the security barrier the only thing standing between them and their escape. The tremors are interfering with the signal amplifier's focus, Captain. The connection is constantly being interrupted. We can't beam out like this. Well, Mr. Paris... Your best hope, Mr. Paris. Do not fail this, hopefully. Thank God. Working quickly, the away team adjusts the transporter signal's amplifier frequency and modulation, compensating for tremors. The transporter signal stabilizes, allowing the away team to lock onto the beam and materialize safely back on Voyager. Alright, so we got experience. Oh, would you look at that? Mr. Chakotay's level 3. Good job for him. Back on Voyager, Harry Kim breathes a sigh of relief while B'Elanna Torres eyes her Starfleet rescuers with suspicion. The Maquis engineer struggles to understand this sudden alliance. Oh, now Miss Torres is at tactical. Nice. Harry Kim needs to let that uniform in a tad. Harry Kim is happy he hasn't leveled up yet. Oh, Lord. Miss Torres, welcome aboard Voyager. I'm Captain Catherine Janeway, and Ensign Kim, it's good to have you back in one piece. Reporting for duty, Captain. I didn't think I'd ever see Voyager again. It's good to be back. But what the hell is going on here, Chakotay? Since when are we cozying up to Starfleet? It's a long story, B'Elanna. Let's just say we had to compromise to get you back. And we share a common goal, getting back home. Anything you learned on the planet could help us. Well, did you learn anything about the caretaker? He's been acting weird lately. Apparently abducting people is a new hobby of his. Oh, and he increased the Ocampa's power supply enough to last them for 5 years, if I recall correctly. And he destroyed the tunnels. Sounds like he's prepared for something. But for what? He's dying. Yeah, what's up with the Ocampa? I know what's about the Ocampa, but do you know what's up with the Ocampa? Annoyingly friendly and incredibly naive, they wouldn't last 5 minutes on the surface. Apparently they've been living underground for over 500 generations. Oh, good lord. That's true. Our ancestors lived on the surface once. Ancient journals tell us the caretaker opened a deep chasm and led us underground. Any idea why? The Ocampa mentions something called the warming, aka the deserting of their planet. The day our surface turned into a desert, on that day the caretaker appeared and built our city. Since then he has provided for the Ocampa. And yeah, that is a fair point, Techno, since Ocampa lived to what, maybe 5 if they're lucky, and generation for an Ocampa would be what, maybe a year? Maybe 2 years? So you're looking at anywhere between like 400 or 500 years? So it's still a sizable thing, but it's not as long as you would think. A debt that can never be repaired. Repaid. Thank you, Tuvok. Say again, Lieutenant Tuvok? There's enough evidence for me to form a reasonable hypothesis, Captain. The Ocampa homeworld turned into a desert from one day to the next. The caretaker's immediate arrival seems to be no coincidence. I assume he's responsible for the ecological damage, building the underground city and caring for them. He seems to be trying to make amends. In addition, Ensign Kim mentioned that the caretaker provided the Ocampa with a mere 5 years' worth of energy. Coupled with the destruction of the access tunnels, and his frequent references to running out of time, the logical conclusion is that he does not intend to continue his role as caretaker. I believe he is dying. If he dies, then how the hell are we supposed to get home? Ask why were you sent to Ocampa? The caretaker mentioned that you might have what he needs. Can you make sense of that? We woke up covered in strange ulcerations. The Ocampa said we were sent away to prevent some kind of plague. Except we weren't sick before we met the guy. What a crock. They also said the caretaker had sent others with the same disease, but they didn't recover. Oh, that's great. They died? I want you both on sickbay, now! Captain, their condition is unusual. It appears to be a cellular disruption caused by the introduction of foreign genetic material. Their bodies are rejecting it, rather violently, I might add. So, Doctor, what you're saying is Ensign Kim got fed bad Chinese food. I know that curse very well, because there's a good number of Chinese places around me, and I don't learn my lesson. I keep going back. Like, I know it's bad for me. I know that I'm going to not have fun eating Chinese food, but it's just so tasty. Why taste good if so bad for you? Oh, Lord. They're fortunate. A few more days and the cellular disruption would have been fatal. Yeah, that's kind of something you should do very quickly, Doctor. Foreign genetic material for what purpose? An excellent question, Commander. Appears to have been introduced deliberately. The why anyone would want to inject them with incompatible DNA is beyond my comprehension. Prognosis, Doctor? I've already started the treatment. With my expertise, spelled wrong, they should make a full recovery. The Doctor's discovery further confirms my hypothesis, Captain. Aware of his imminent death, the caretaker is enacting measures to safeguard the Ocampa for as long as possible. However, they will run out of energy eventually, so he seeks a successor, one who would continue his work. This explains the abduction and the subsequent testing of individuals from various sectors. If he dies before finding a suitable successor, we'll be stranded. We have to return to the array before it's too late. Captain, given the caretaker's reluctance to cooperate, a more assertive approach may be necessary. The Vulcan's right. If that overgrown energy blob won't send us home, we blast our way out. Phasers, torpedoes, the whole shebang. I believe a bit of tactical planning is in order. Shields first, then phasers. Well, you know what? I got good news for you, Chakotay. We have phasers, we have shields, and we have photons. I've already planned ahead. Our offensive and defensive capabilities have been restored, Captain. Ready as we'll ever be. Let's show this squadron what we're really made of. Alright, well, back we go to the caretaker. And whoosh. Nice. And I think we're going to build cargo bay. This is the best day of Chakotay's life. It's all down here from Hill. I mean, yeah. That's it. Okay, alright. Are we gonna... Oh, Kazon. Okay. Hello, Kazon. Seems we were expected, Captain. It's the Kazon. The lead ship is hailing us. They're probably not calling to chat. I'll have our Marquis radar manned. You'll have support if this turns into a fight, Captain. Excellent idea, but let's see what the Kazon have to say first. Why are you here? Do you truly believe you can defeat us? All we care about is getting hold, Jabin. We'll beam over to the array and see if we can arrange that. That's all? After your display of firepower? We do not fear you, but we are not fools. We have no dispute with you. Then leave. The array is ours. This is absurd. We have no intention of challenging you. The array is mine. Leave or face my wrath. Okay, so what we saw there was some of our choices and success did matter. We got some unique dialogue there. But, oh, here we go. Hold on. Jet number 5. Let's see if jet number 5 wins the day. Now, see, jet number 5 we could hear, but jet number 5 was very courteous. He flew over my house and didn't, you know, sit there and stay there for a while. Jet number 4 could learn from jet number 5. But yeah, so as I was saying, what we just saw there was that successes and choices did matter, but it only gave us unique dialogue. It didn't give us a unique way of finishing or forestalling or otherwise avoiding this conflict. Jabin, we can discuss this like two civilized. He's disconnected, Captain, and they're powering up their weapons. Battle stations! Okay, each combat encounter you may choose to keep up to 3 heroes. Okay. Surrender. Okay, interesting. Well, let's do Tuvok. Let's do Harry Kim. And let's do Tom Paris. Go! The Voyager will fight semi-autonomously. Phasers are fight automatically. Torpedoes are manually. Okay. What are your orders, Captain? Okay, so we got shields. Okay. Orders. Okay, down here. E. Order your ship to try and attack or defend a side with either defensive or offensive movement. Fleeing requires enemy engines to be damaged, while surrendering costs resources. Can also repair. Proceed to offensive. Okay. Let's do weapons. Toggle pause, spacebar. In Hero, the abilities can be activated either by selecting or pressing the number keys. Okay. Blue countdown shows it's activated. Okay. Torpedoes have to be fired manually. Shift key. Okay. Fire torpedo. Well, that did a whole lot of nothing. Fire another one. Enemy shields destroyed, Captain. Well, keep shooting them until you're done. Also, jet number 6. Enemy shields destroyed, Captain. Alright, well, let's, offensive actions. Let's take down their warfare. Enemy ship is surrendered. Excellent. Then we want to... Orders here. Offensive. Focus on weapons. Teleport a torpedo onto the enemy bridge. Okay, so they've surrendered. Hull status, 97%. Nice! But Voyager only has 5 torpedoes left. Well, fire all 6. One of the 7 will do damage for sure. That went better than expected. Our raider is still in good shape. I'll keep it close by just in case more Kazon decide to show up. You are strong, Captain, but there's strength in numbers. I have called for reinforcements. This array will be mine. Then I guess we don't have much time. Hail the array. Hail he array. Typo. Well, aren't you persistent? We need you to send us back where we came from. Impossible. I've barely enough strength to complete my work. I must protect the Ocampa. If I don't, the Kazon will steal their water. They won't be able to survive. You must let go of the Ocampa. You know what? I'm going to try that you must let go of the Ocampa. Do you ever consider allowing the Ocampa to care for themselves? They're children. Children grow up. They need challenges. Maybe the Ocampa are stronger than you think. Send us home. You've dragged us into this. You need to send us. Captain Jabin wasn't bluffing. His reinforcements have arrived. I could try to access the array system to transport us to the Alpha Quadrant, Captain. No, I'm fading. Time is up. If you leave, The array will be left to the Kazon. They will annihilate the Ocampa. You must destroy it. Don't listen to him. We'll be stranded. Please protect the Ocampa. What is right and what is easy? The caretaker fades away, collapsing into an inert, crystalline form. Janeway is now faced with an impossible choice. Return home to the Alpha Quadrant, leaving the Ocampa defenseless, or sacrifice a Voyager's turn to ensure their safety. The clock is ticking. Now, okay. Listen. I, again, want to see what happens if we decide to not save the Ocampa. Now, I have a feeling they're just going to end the game. Yeah, we're just gonna return home because I'm curious to see if they'll let us do it. Okay, all right, so here we go. Protecting the Ocampa would violate the Prime Directive. My responsibility is to this crew. Activate the control systems. We're going home. For once, the first Janeway good use of the Prime Directive. And I know that's a very odd statement to say. Janeway, Prime Directive, what am I saying? For once, Janeway makes the right call. You're abandoning the Ocampa? To hell with the Prime Directive. They deserve a chance to live. Oh, you see? Now they're telling us we only have a 60% chance. Yeah, we're leaving. It's my ship, Commander. Tuvok, now. Oh, we failed, which means apparently we don't get to go home. The systems are unresponsive. I cannot initiate the transit program. Captain, the Kazon, they're preparing to board the array. You must destroy the array. Protect my people from the Kazon. Yeah, we're blowing it up. We're blowing it up. Alright, yep, get the Tri-Cobalt devices. Yep, we're blowing it up. I can and I will. Tri-Cobalt devices. Yep, fire. Yep. And if I had to guess, they're going to end the demo here. If I had to guess. It's the right decision, B'Elanna. The Ocampa, they remind me of our people. We were fighting a more powerful enemy to protect our own. The Ocampa deserve that too. 70,000 light years. We're really stranded, aren't we? Yes, Kim. And no, like Elk, I would fully believe that there's a way to succeed there. In that there is a way to just end the game. Because if you get home... Yeah, okay, so Bean passed the 60%. So, Bean, I'm assuming it just ends the game, right? It just goes, yeah, you got home, congratulations. You just missed the entire point of the game. Like, I'm willing to bet they're like, yeah, congratulations, you beat Voyager. But you didn't really beat Voyager. Oh, Lord. There's a little bit of dialogue, but yeah, basically. Okay. Jabin is hailing us, Captain. You have made an enemy today. No shit, Jabin. No shit. Okay. Obviously, you gotta repair a hull. And we just gotta leave, yeah? Okay. And then they just want us to go to an asteroid? Oh, good. We're gonna start needing to stock deuterium. That's great. 70,000 light years from home. It seems we're in this together, Commander. Your decision didn't win you any friends, Kazon, Maquis, and Starfleet, but I respect you for it. Do you, Chakotay? Your anger is justified, but we have more pressing concerns. 2 crews on 1 ship, stranded in the Delta Quadrant, fighting for survival. I know a thing or two about survival. The Maquis are a motley crew. We had to learn to put our differences aside and work together to coexist. Coexist, Well, Commander, I'd like to offer you a position of Voyager's first officer. First officer, you're willing to trust a Maquis with that responsibility. Yep. I'm learning to adapt. This is a new beginning, a chance to forge a new path together. Neelix, Kess, you wanted to see me? Do you need anything else before you leave? Supplies, water, medicine? No, they want to stay. Yep, they want to go with us. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah, Neelix. I know you want to cook for us. Yep, morale officer. Mm-hmm. Yep, okay, Neelix. Yeah, what are you gonna do, Kess? What are you gonna offer us? You want to see the galaxy? Okay. And let you explore your telepathic abilities. Okay, yeah, sure. You could learn from him in sickbay. Okay, yes, yes. I'm sure the doctor will be happy. All right, welcome aboard. Unexpected guess. A sudden distress call reveals Voyager's victory over Jabin sparked a mass escape from the Kazon slave camp. Janeway wastes no time and order the desperate survivors beamed aboard. Okay. Neelix is surprised to find another Talaxian, Zyben, who was captured while exploring the Okampa landscape. Gratefully joins the growing crowd of survivors seeking the doctor's care. Okay, so that's already a change, that there's another Talaxian aboard that survived. So that's a change. Interesting. Unite, explode the unknown. We're going with Warlord Janeway. We're alone in an uncharted part of the galaxy, facing unknown threats, but we will not cower. We will stand together as one crew, armed and ready to fight for our survival. Explore, but duty calls us home. As the only Starfleet vessel in the Delta Quadrant, we'll continue to explore, but our primary goal is to find a way back to the Federation. 75 years is unacceptable. Adapt, overcome, reach home. Never give up, never surrender. Well, we have to do that. We'll search for shortcuts and new technologies to get us home faster. Somewhere along this journey, we'll find a way back. Well spoken, Captain. Mr. Paris, you've proven yourself a skilled pilot and a valuable member of this crew. I hereby appoint you as our flight control officer. For the first time in my life, I don't know what to say. Perhaps a statement, or perhaps a state that you would like to embrace more frequently from now on, Lieutenant Paris? Lieutenant Paris has a nice ring to it, don't you think? Hey, Harry, I bet your own promotion is just around the corner. Oh, God, here we go. Oh, boy, imagine me becoming captain one day. Very well, gentlemen. As your first official act in your new position, Lieutenant Paris, set a new course. We're flying home. There's the end. Okay. There's the end. All right. Well, let's wrap things up there. So overall, here's my thoughts. I like the fact that it's very much a game you can lose time in, that it does appear to have a very in-depth resource management, Fallout Shelter-esque, building management, crew management, things like that. It does appear to allow you to have choices that matter. The thing, though, that I'm worried about is how much are you allowed to diverge there? Because as we saw at the end, we were basically given two very important choices where we could either go home or we could do what actually happened in Voyager and blow up Caretaker. And we failed the 60% chance, but as Chad has said, somebody did succeed the 60%, so we know it's possible. But what I'm worried about is are we only ever going to be given a binary choice? Because, for example, what I would have liked to see there was perhaps some way of talking the Kazon down. Like, for example, maybe that show of force that we did back on the planet, doesn't just has escaped slaves. Like, maybe it makes the Kazon super wary of us, kind of a thing. And I'm worried that... Oh, here we go. Jet number 8, everybody. Jet number 8. Jet number 8 doesn't know what he's doing. Jet number 8 is a very newbie pilot, as you can tell. Jet number 8 really needs to figure out his thruster situation. Yeah, it's Jet number 8. Anyway, as I was saying, so it's one of those things where, and Chad is already speculating on this. Let's take Technos, for example. Do we recruit 7 of 9 and then, or blast her out of an airlock? You know, 7 of 9 is a huge character that has huge, far-reaching implications on if you save her or not. And that's not just a minor branch. That is a humongous, humongous branch in the story. And what I'm worried about is it becoming a pseudo choice, I think is the word I want to use here, where, you know, failure does not actually matter, or, you know, your choice doesn't actually matter. Like, maybe you get 1 or 2 unique lines of dialogue, but can you truly save Tuvix? Can you truly not recruit 7 of 9? Like, certain choices have such far-reaching implications. Far-reaching implications that they either have to reset to normal, or they have to deal with so many branches. Like, again, we'll use our 2 examples of 7 of 9 and Tuvix, where if we save Tuvix, where Tuvix stays, and he doesn't bottle episode him back into being Tuvix and Tuvok and Neelix, if Tuvix stays, then that's an entirely separate branch of the story. That's an entirely new branch of the story that has its own sort of problems and own sort of ways of dealing with those problems. But now we, you know, so we save Tuvix. That's choice 1. Choice 2 is, do we keep 7 of 9 or do we get rid of 7 of 9? That, again, major branch, where we now have what is essentially, so we branch twice, Tuvix or not, and then we branched a second time, 7 of 9 or not. So that is a grand total of 6 branches that we're dealing with. So it gets very, 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 very bad very, very quickly. And Jet number 9 I'm just going to mute for, because Jet number 9 has no manners. But as I was saying, the branching is hard to see here, because our only true choice there at the end was to either go home and end the game, or to follow the episodic path. And I guess what I'm worried about is how much are they going to allow us to deviate? And I don't know, are they going to let us deviate tremendously? Who knows? And see, that's the thing, Lord Exile, like, you might just think, oh, Tuvix, you just lose Tuvok and Neelix. But think about all the times that Tuvok is necessary. Think about all the times that Neelix is necessary. And you have to now reflow those events, and you have to reflow all the character moments because you saved Tuvix. So, I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to make a judgment call on this game until I see how the branching is handled after this point. Because if it is very much your choices are pseudo choices, then I'm not going to be super happy. But if they let you deviate, I would be really happy with this game. I would be super, super happy with this game if they had more of an open sandbox feel, as Common Elk has said. But I also understand, as someone who does game development, just how hard it is to account for every scenario. Though I will say, if I, as a game developer, one man doing one writing and one code, yes, I have somebody that does the art, yes, I have somebody that does the user interface coding, that is true. But as someone who does a majority of the coding for branching, writing, choices, the whole 9 yards, I don't know. I just think it takes time and effort at the end of the day. And hey, look, Jet number 10, very courteous. Oh, no, never mind. Jet number 10 biffed it at the end, but he was still courteous more than Jet number 9. But yeah, overall rating, I'll give it a 8.5 out of 10 based on the demo. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. And will I play it on release? Yeah, because I'm a sucker for it. But am I still going to look at reviews before I buy it? Yeah. But we'll form our own opinion. But yeah, YouTube, if you followed this far, let us know what you thought about the jet noise if I didn't edit it out. I do apologize for it, though. They do appear to be doing flight ops today, and sometimes the mute button is not there enough. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. Twitch around because we're going to raid somebody, but YouTube, we'll see you later. Bye-bye, YouTube.